Welcome back to the Build Show. I'm your host over here at the, Santa's Workshop. Estrino. And tonight, we're going to build some PCs because we're running out of time. So we need to get these done, right? Hey, what's up? Dev, how's it going? Intel is the only way. I assume that's you, Roy. Over there on the kick. Welcome back to the Build Show. Onra, hello, everyone. Christmas stream, yes. Welcome back to the Build Show, Onra. Tony! Welcome back to the Build Show. Sab! Welcome back to the Build Show. Happy Monday. Yeah, it's definitely a Monday. Who's Roy? Well, isn't that you? Intel is the only way. Did I get it wrong? Your name is Mike? Okay. My mistake. I thought you were somebody else. Literally the same name. Intel is the only way. He calls himself the last Intel supporter over on Twitch or YouTube or something, or he changes his name all the time. So I just assumed. My mistake. Yeah, you should come meet him. All right. We're just gonna jump right into it. So, tried to start a little earlier tonight, but I had a whole bunch of quotes I had to get out and builds I had to get off the bench and finish, and then email people telling them their builds are ready to go, and then this, that, and the other thing, and next thing you know, it's almost 8 o'clock. So, time flies when you are having fun. So, we're going to try to cram 3 builds into this stream. That would be ideal. If I do not get to the 3rd build, it's not the end of the world. It just means we'll be doing 2 tomorrow because I got another order that needs to be ready for Christmas that just came in today, which means I'm going to Micro Center tomorrow as well. So tomorrow I have to go to Micro Center, pick up parts, and then we have to build another build tomorrow. So at least 2 need to be done tonight, which means we have 2 that we'd be doing tomorrow, and then that would line us up to have everything done and ready to go before Christmas. And these are all local pickups, so everybody will be rushing here between Tuesday and Wednesday to pick up before Christmas. So, my arm keeps vanishing. That is my arm camera. Oh, and it's gone. Anyway, that's the ordeal over here. Those are all the builds that we have to do and get done before Christmas. We do have plentiful other builds that we could do, but they're all inventory builds, so it's not the end of the world if they're not ready. I don't have any other builds built because everything else is gone. Everything got picked up, so here we are. We have no builds built, and we have just these orders to finish up before Christmas, which is going to lead us right into the new year. So we're going to come in pretty short, actually, from last year, which is kind of surprising because usually during December, this month is usually just jam-packed with builds. And it looked like it was going to be that way in the beginning of December. We just started getting a whole bunch of builds and orders. And then it just stopped. It just went dead silent. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if the economy is part of the problem, but it's definitely a lot less than last year. So there's been a steady decline in builds over the last couple of years. So I don't know why that's happening. I think it's... I personally think it's the economy. It's not the greatest. And then the prices of RAM going up right before the holiday season and the storage going up definitely impacted our shot because I can't compete with people that have old inventory from previous month prices at this time. So eventually that inventory will deplete for everybody else, and then I'll be pretty much the same as what it was before. So looking forward to that. Anyway, all right, for tonight's build that we're starting off with for Daniela, I believe that's how you pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, somebody smack me through the chat. But we're going to be building a Ryzen and AM4 build. So it's going to be a Ryzen 5 5600 with 6 cores, 12 threads, and a maximum boost of 4.4 gigahertz. It's going to be, we're going to be using a Thermalright, or I'm sorry, the Arctic MX4 thermal paste. I have for some reason here the Thermalright TF7. But we're going to be cooling the CPU with a Frozen Infinity by Thermalright, which is a liquid AIO cooler. Has 360 millimeter radiator and 3 120 millimeter fans, which are addressable RGB, and it's in black. The pump or the block has that mirror finish, which is one of the distinct cool features of the Frozen Note. Next is we're going to be running a Gigabyte B550 Eagle Wi-Fi 6 motherboard. So this motherboard is pretty decent motherboard for AM5, or I'm sorry, AM4. It's got all the features that you would need on it, so that's typically why I lean on that. Credit cards are maxed out for from the last year. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I just got it set up. I just got done building my PC. Oh, nice. Nice. Congrats, man. You'll have to drop in our Discord and share your build. But the B550 motherboard, and then we've got 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 megahertz CL16 memory. This is the Cleve Bolt X memory. So it's like the Flare X of G.Skill, basically. And next is a 2TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 drive. We're going to be running the Samsung 990 EVO Plus. I'm glad I ordered this when I did, because they immediately went out of stock, and then their prices jumped up to like $220. And we got this for like $169, I think. So we got it for a really good price in comparison to all the other prices. Next is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 8GB graphics card, which is 128 bits of GDDR6. And then we're going to be installing this in a Montech XR case. And also the 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply is what's going to be powering the build. Ben, when will you be finishing up your custom PC you are working on? So there's a little bit of a delay there, because I'm trying to find 64 gigs of DDR5 memory, which I actually just saw some at Micro Center for like $460, which is the cheapest I've seen this month. So when I go to Micro Center tomorrow, I might grab that, but that's one of the holdups is I don't have the CPU, I don't have the RAM, I don't have the graphics card, and I don't have the storage. So, and then I gotta pick out a cooler. I have the motherboard, I have the power supply, I have the case, and I have some of the fans. Excuse me. But the core components I don't have. And the main reason why I'm waiting is because, well, if I wait too long for memory prices to come down, which I don't think they're going to, then I might be looking at a different generation if I wait. So if I go buy everything else and then wait on the memory, and then it never comes down in price, and then you know, AIM-6 comes out, for example, then, you know, I'm building a generation old PC, which is what I don't want to do if I wait. So I haven't decided if I'm going to wait or just jump on it and spend the extra cash on the insane memory prices. So that's why I haven't done anything. And also, I've been just slammed with builds and orders and service here, so I haven't really had time to focus on it. But I think I'm going to grab that $460-something 64 gig kit, because I want 64 gigs. I have 32 in mine. I had 64 previously, and I had to steal 2 sticks out of my build for a customer whose RAM went bad on a build that I didn't do, but they were desperate to get it back up and running, and I let them have my my other kit, because I had 2 32 gig kits in my rig. And I wasn't really fully using it, but I am now. So I wish I never did that, especially with RAM prices that have gone up. So yeah, I'm looking out for a good deal on 64 gigs, and I think I found it. It's just I don't know if they're going to be there by the time I get there tomorrow, because they only had 5 left in stock today, and I'm not going to be able to get out there until probably 5:30, 6 p.m. tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure that kit's going to be gone by the time I get there. Yeah, good luck with that one, buddy. I know. I'm trying. I just refuse to spend $1,000 on 64 gigs of RAM. That's just, I just can't do it. Can't. I would rather go buy a pre-build that has 64 gigs of RAM from somebody else, take the RAM out, and then install all the other components, and do it that way than spend the $1,000 just on RAM. I'm willing to do that. And I will if I have to. Epic Gamer over on YouTube. I get this question a lot. How come you built so many in 2023? The main reason is because I went full time in 2023 and I marketed like crazy, spending a ton of money in Google ads, Facebook ads, and all sorts of different marketing. And it was kind of like a test to see if this was feasible full time. And for the most part it was, but there were some dry times where no orders were coming in. So it was very up and down in the sales department. And when there's no sales, there's no money coming in. And when there's no money coming in, bills aren't going to get paid. So it was really hard in 2023 for me to do that. And it was hard on the family when I tried it. But it was kind of like a, hey, let's see if this is doable. And in the end, it's not quite ready to go full time. There's just not enough. There just wasn't enough demand there. And you'd think, 733 PCs, that should be more than enough demand to support a company. And it is. But what it can't do is also provide me a salary in the salary that I need to cover the bills. So without draining, just constantly draining. So in the end, it was a great test, 2023. It was also during a great time because that was coming out of pandemic time and people were still really big into buying PCs. It was really popular. So, yeah, COVID helped also in a major way. So everybody was at home and still kind of just wanting a PC and watching streamers, and it was a big deal then. It's not as big of a deal now. So that is the main reason. I think 2023 blew up, and it also didn't, like I was saying, it didn't come in all, steadily. That was a big problem. It came in, I went 2 weeks without a build, and then all of a sudden I'd have like 25, 30 builds to do. And it was like, oh, thank goodness, and that just the constant up and down was really hard. It was me. It was me and me alone, Odra. But that is also another good question. When it got really bad, I brought my brothers in to help. My brothers also build. And I've got 3 brothers. So. Yeah, people were getting free money. Yeah, the free checks from the government probably helped stimulate that a little bit. And it did seem like after you received your check, then they received a check and you could see more builds coming in. It kind of did reflect on that. So there's that's actually what we call it. We have 3 different seasons as PC builders. You've got your holiday season, which is right now. This is usually the busiest time for me as a PC builder, is between like November and December, or the end of December. It's just busy. You're just building like crazy. And then it kind of cools down after the new year for a little bit. And then right around like the end of January, it starts to pick up again. And then you enter what we call tax season for PC builders. And that's when people are getting their tax money back, and they'll use that for PC builds. So that goes up until about March, April, and then that kind of phases out. And then we have the dry season, which is during the summer, where everybody's out and about outside and nobody really wants a PC, and it usually is pretty slow. This year was awkward. This year during the summer, it was actually pretty busy, and during tax season, it was slow. And then during Christmas, it was kind of slow. Not in comparison to the last couple of years. I think last year in November, we were at like 130 or 140 builds. And then we ended the year at 196 builds, which is, you know, within the small amount of time, we did like 40 or 50 builds, which was great. But this year was nothing like that. So, just to show you how kind of how big of a difference it was this year compared to last year. And then the year before that was 2023, which is insane. It was insane. Like my entire call it the Empower Gaming studio was just filled with boxes from floor to ceiling to build all those builds. Hey, what's up, King? Welcome back to the Build Show. So, what's up? All right, so let's get started with this build. We've got 2, maybe 3 we're going to be doing tonight. 2 for sure. So, if it's not extremely late, I'll cram a 3rd one in because I do have to get up in the morning again. For one more day, I have to get up. Oh no, the PC was working a minute ago. Now it's not posting. Uh-oh. Definitely join the Discord if you have any questions. You could drop questions there in the Discord. How many builds you got down today? 2. I'm going to be doing 2 on the stream, so this is the first one that we haven't started yet. Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show. Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas indeed. All right, so let's get started. Everybody's like, man, he keeps talking about starting and then doesn't start. He just keeps talking. I understand. Let's build this thing. Also, when you're building 733 PCs in a year, nobody talks about this, or nobody thinks about this as a PC builder. Where do all the boxes go? Well, I filled my backyard with boxes and then got one massive dumpster and then had to transfer it all to the dumpster because I couldn't keep up with it. When you're just one dude, you couldn't keep up. The neighbors were actually complaining about my box pile. I mean, when you build enough PCs where you have a box pile in your backyard and your neighbors have to complain about it, pretty impressive. Which we currently have a box pile going right now because we can't keep up. I'm out here looking for fan hub. A fan hub? You know, just like a regular PWM fan hub, or do you need one with RGB? Because if you need one with RGB, you could just go ahead and get a Thermalright fan hub for like, I think $12 or something like that on Amazon. I've seen a 9850 X3 5090 GPU pre-built with 16 gigs of RAM and 512 M.2 for $4,000. That seems kind of silly. Here's a super fast CPU and one of the best graphics cards out there. But you're not allowed to use more than 16 gigs of RAM and you're limited to 512 gigs of space. Yeah, King, if you need PWM and RGB, Thermalright makes a decent hub that you can plug into your motherboard and sync up for both the fan's speed and the RGB. And that's like $12 on Amazon. Go take a look at that one. I'm just joking. Nice. Steve, I tried to recycle. There's just too many boxes. My recycling company refuses to take them because there's too many. It's like that Star Wars scene, I think it's Return of the Jedi, when they're going in and attacking the Death Star again. There's that guy in the A-Wing, he looks around, there's too many of them! That's literally what's happening here with the boxes. There's just too many of them. Thought you didn't need one. I would have friend a $200 motherboard just like that. Oh, no. You're not going to fry your motherboard. Now, what will happen is fans will just stop lighting up. That's all. Not going to fry the motherboard. First indication of I have too many RGBs on my RGB RGB header is you'll see that the lights are all dim. They'll be pretty dim. That's usually the first sign. And then after that, then they might just shut off. Merry Christmas. Welcome back to the YouTube side, Tony. All right, we're gonna get the next. We're gonna install the RAM, which is 32 gigs. For some reason, is a pain to open up. I thought it would be easy, but it isn't. There we go. This RAM. It's really hard to get out of this package. The next up is our 2 terabyte Samsung 990 Evo Plus we're going to put in here. A little white fuzzy came off my hand and fell in the PCIe slot there. You guys caught that? Like, how did that happen? I just so happened to watch it fall in there. But I caught that. Okay, when the GPU is plugged in, it's not turning on, but without it, it works. What could cause that? That could be power for the GPU. What GPU is it? Alright, so the cooler actually uses these stock brackets, so we don't have to change those out. So this motherboard with the CPU, RAM, and SSD is all ready to go. 5070 Ti, power supply for that. Out of curiosity. Yeah, that is super strange. What power supply are you using, Dev? My dog can't take his eyes off the kitchen. I'm cooking dinner. Yeah, he probably waiting for that dinner to be done. And I'm not going to stop looking at this until I know for sure that dinner is safe. Using an 850 watt? What brand is it? What power supply? 850. Like what brand and model is it? It honestly sounds like a power issue. Dagger Pro. I've never heard of it. Let me go look it up. Is it the 850 watt that's SFX, the small one? Are you building into a small tower like an ITX tower? Yes. Yeah. I've actually never. I've never used them. Still missing my other screwdriver. I don't know where the hell it is. Okay, it turned on. That's interesting. Super strange is a good way to say that. Good way to describe it. I watch over on Twitch. There's almost a minute delay on YouTube from Twitch, but I like the people on YouTube, so I watch both. Oh, you're supporting both sides, son. Appreciate it. Ben, my dog, likes everything. He even had a bowl of oatmeal this morning. I understand oats are good for dogs. They are. Oatmeal's always excellent. There we go. Got all of our front panel connectors in, which is our front panel power button. All of our front panel stuff here. Our USB-C, USB 3.0, our PWM connectors for our fans, and our addressable RGB for our fans, and our HD audio. That is good to go. But next, I'm actually going to put the power supply. No, is a little backwards from what I have. Should you have Expo on, I would recommend, Dev, if you just built the PC, to do the BIOS update first, then enable AMD Expo. Or XMP, depending on what your RAM kit is and how it's supported. My Iron Maiden chair broke. I bought a new chair. The brand is called Deep. Got a footstool and reclines all the way back. It's $109. Can't believe how nice it is. Make sure you post that in the Discord channel because I'm looking for a replacement as well. But I wanted green. Not to be picky, but kind of goes with the color scheme. You know? A little weird spot for the USB header, the USB-C header. Yeah, on that board it was, that's because this was not the original Eagle. They redid it and then added that later. So, and that was to make the board last longer, or have more features so it would last longer. I don't mind it. I actually prefer it down there. Not hanging out in front of the side fans. I'm not terribly opposed to it. I bought it on Amazon. I think they did have a green one. That would be cool. We're installing the power supply now so that we can get our EPS cables in, and because it's not a modular power supply. much with this. Ah! Drive me nuts. These cables are going to drive me nuts. But I should probably take care of that right now, if I could. Hey Ant-Man, welcome back to the build show. Early start. How many builds are we doing tonight? We're doing 2, maybe 3, depending on how it goes tonight. The seller of the Iron Maiden shared wind up sending me brand new chair. I was all excited until I seen it was a kid's version. Oh no. I just left it in the box. I'd love that chair. So the 990 work on AM4? Yes, Ant-Man. Yes, it does. Ben. Oh yeah, we already covered that. Okay. Yep, we're going to be doing 2 builds, maybe 3, depending how fast it goes for the first 2 at least. We need to at least get 2 done tonight. But would be cool if I can get all 3 of them done. That means it would free up some of my evening tomorrow. We still haven't even set up a Christmas tree yet. And let me tell you, Mrs. Empower's starting to panic. All right. Now that we got that installed, we are ready to get our AIO installed. That cooler in here. Sorry, I used that voice text and forgot to check it sometimes. Oh, no worries. Rito redeemed some points for hydration. Tonight, I'm drinking a sugar-free Red Bull. Should be drinking water. Cool. How you go with 6 cores over 8 core CPU? How come? Cost, Ant-Man. It's always cost. If they had a bigger budget, I would gladly have put them on an 8 core processor. But it always comes down to the budget. I'm kicking ass on this build. Oh. Drinking the Red Bull tonight. You know, staying focused. Yeah, we're 56 minutes in. We're not doing too bad. We just got to put a cooler and a graphics card in. Finish up the cable management for the cooler. All the rest of the cable management's now done. Then we get fired up. Move on to build number 2. Build number 2 is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. The Quantum Prime, and that's always like a hour-and-a-half build. Brazilian and 1 twist ties. Brought to you by Thermal Rags. Twist ties. Jeffy, welcome back to the Build Show. Does in fact give you wings? I mean, I feel like I'm flying, but I'm not elevating. I'm drinking Bushmills out of the freezer. I love Irish whiskey. Nice. That whiskey. Whiskey. What's Max doing? He's down here napping. Per usual. Waiting for Dad to finish his work. Always waiting for me. Poor guy. He's such a loyal dog. Feel bad. We have some fun when we go camping, though. He loves the beach. Loves the water. Might actually help to have the figures out for the AIO. What was for dinner? I don't know. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm not sure. One of those nights where I've been so busy I haven't stopped to eat. So I don't actually know. You know what? It was, I caught a glimpse of it. It was the, like a Mexican dinner dish. But it's not really. It's like an Americanized Mexican dish. Can't remember the name of it off the top of my head now. I'm just straight up drawing a blank. Sounds good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Almost bought that Height X50. I think that's right in the black. But I really want the red one. I don't know why they won't release it. Probably just a manufacturing issue where they've something didn't go right, or there's a delay on something. Whatever. Doing. Do you do BTF builds? What do you mean by BTF? 8X50. The X50, yes. I know what brand you're talking about. The red just pops. Yeah, the red's pretty sleek looking, especially if you put like... You could either put white or black components in that red case, and it will pop like a mother trucker. It's actually on my list of cases that I want to build in. We do have it on the website, but haven't landed any orders yet. Maybe I should have plugged this in before I put this. Somehow we magically got that. So you doing 2 builds tonight? Yes, I am trying to do 2 builds tonight. That is the ultimate goal. 3 if we do good. Hey, what's up, Tony? Or, no, Frozen. Frozen Fusion's the ones that's saying yo. Thought he's just being very polite and responding. Because he's a cool dude. What's up, Frozen Fusion? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. So you asked AI if AI was full of crap. It responded AI is full of misinformation. So yeah, AI is full of crap. I couldn't agree more. And now they take our DDR RAM. Well, they're not taking the RAM, but they're keeping them from making it. They're taking up the manufacturing bandwidth. You need a new cutter. Hold on, guys. We're entering the Matrix. Why is there only 3 major RAM makers? That's just how the cookie crumbled. I don't know. Because they started, and then they did a very good job at keeping everybody else out of the market. So they can control it. When they keep coming up with stupid, like, ray tracings, you need to buy more RAM. There goes. There's another build, guys. Build number 125. For 2025, at least. Contact peels usually leave a residue. It requires a quick polish of the glass. Sometimes you gotta break out the Windex. All right, let's fire this thing up. Ant-Man says, how to use AMD new Redstone update, or is that Redstone what they call the update? I think that's what they call the update. That PC looks tight, bro. Thank you. I stopped messing with computers back in 2007, just got back into it. The same song and dance PC. Oh yeah, it's the same song and dance. Redstone is the latest version of FSR upscaling. It's just part of the update. That's all. All right, guys, here we go. Thank you, Robert, for answering that question. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Tony, thank you for the 5 gifted over there on the YouTube. Wiz Nation Jimmy the Jew from Philly. I hate saying that, but I see his name come up a lot. Not Fox, Raphael, and Arnold all received a gifted membership. Thanks to Tony. Thank you, Tony. What's up, some giant idiot? Welcome back, sir. There we have it. Another build. Build number 125 for 2025 to be exact, is done. Tony, again, you are the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Tony. Nice. I was trying to get Ant-Man and Onra. Oh well, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I hate how you can't just select people and gift them in YouTube. Nice. Let's game. We're almost ready for the games. This PC is going to be pretty dope, actually. It'll handle pretty good games. Lots of room for upgrades, too. It's a great option to start with. All right, so there's build number 1 for tonight. I am going to take a bathroom break real quick, guys, if you don't mind. All of a sudden, the Red Bull's starting to hit. I like it. I think it's cool. Maybe in the future, you could get some bottom fans. Yeah, it just wasn't in the budget. That's my answer for everything here, guys. Even though they're like 12 bucks. I barely made even a profit on this, guys. This is the 3rd build from them, and they wanted it less than the last build, but with the prices of parts, everything was the same price as the last build before I even made anything on the build. So I pretty much built this one for free, is what it comes down to. So cheers. But it was for a Christmas present, and that's why I did it. It at least covered its cost. So, Merry Christmas. I don't know. I didn't get who this is actually going to, but it's going to somebody for Christmas. So Merry Christmas to whoever's this is, from Daniela. Thank you again for the purchase, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, bathroom break, guys. Bathroom break. Oh, Tony. Might help if I'm actually unmuted. Tony gifted another sub over on Twitch. Thank you, sir. I like that PC. I think it looks cool. What is the mouse wheels these days? What is it with mouse wheels these days? They last about 6 months. I don't know. Mine has lasted like 7 years, so I don't know. Haven't had a new mouse in a while. All right, guys, let's go ahead and switch back to the top-down view, and then we will move on to build number 2. I'm going to move this over to the other bench. And now, build number 2. You probably recognize it from the other day. We tried to do this build, but the motherboard pins were jacked. We didn't do this build. Now I got a brand new motherboard that's sealed. So it's not an open box. What was sent to us when we purchased new. All right. Just really quick update the name. I guess I have to find a 7-year-old mouse. All right, so Holly is, I believe, mom. So mom is buying, I believe, son a PC for Christmas. And this is what he's getting, which is the Quantum Prime over on the website. So if you're not familiar with the Quantum Prime, it is a micro ATX dual chamber design build. So it's similar to like the 011 Dynamic, but in a micro ATX version. So it's a little smaller. But specifically, it has the Ryzen 5 9600X. 9600X with the 6 cores, 12 threads, and a maximum boost of 5.4, which is an AIM-5 build. Hey, thank you very much. Then we're cooling the CPU as well as we have the contact frame, the Thermalright AM5 contact frame, but we're cooling the CPU with a Frozen Infinity in black, which has the infinity mirror on the block and really unique adjustable RGB lighting for the fans. We also have some case fans to match it. But the motherboard is the B650M A'-AX, and we have 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL36, which is supposed to be G.Skill FlareX, but because that was not available, we're going to be running the Cleve brand. Sorry, I almost dropped it. Like dropping $1 million these days. And a 2 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe SSD, which is the MP44. So you've seen me build with these many of times before, but it is the MP44 by Team Group. It's a super fast, snappy drive. Next is for the graphics card is the AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT, which is a 16 gigabyte graphics card. And yes, this is the triple fan. Hopefully it fits. in the case. Didn't think of that until just now. But it's the triple fan from XFX, which is the Swift model. SWIFT. So, great card, great cooler on it. And it's got 16 gigs of VRAM, which is great for 1440p gameplay. As well as the new FSR that we were just talking about, funny enough. And then we're going to be powering the rig with a 650 watt 80 plus gold power supply from Sedgetech, which is more than enough power for this entire rig. Merry Christmas. I'm glad you got it. Awesome. So, now that we have a board without bent pins, we can proceed with this build. I want to say it was Saturday that we tried to build this, and then we opened up the box and we discovered, oh, there's bent pins. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And we do have brackets for this cooler, so we'll have to take care of that before we get it in there. Already a good sign the box was sealed. When you get in this many parts, you don't have anybody like dedicated to just checking parts when they come in. That's what happens. Then checking them live when you're doing the build. Hey, what's up, Mason? My guy Ben, what's up? Second PC of the stream, yes sir. Second build of the stream tonight. Welcome back to the build show. Definitely not. Hell yeah, glad to be back, and happy holidays, brother. I talked to Chamber, we set up an appointment, and everything went very smooth. Awesome. So he got you all hooked up with a tune. I'm so Tony over on Twitch. I'm so mad I gave away my computer and they wound up throwing it in the garbage. It would have been fun just to look at it, and I threw it away. I threw away all of my old graphics cards and all my games, my processors. I spent thousands of dollars on. Yeah, I mean, the old stuff. Actually, they might have been ATI cards now that I think about it. I built a mini ATX case, was short, but it was kind of wide, and I was running 2 AMD cards in it. I love that thing. It was probably ATI cards, and it was probably like a 8X with the, what was it called? Crossfire for AMD. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. The AMD, or at the time it was ATI, and their Crossfire technology, and that was competing with SLI from NVIDIA. There we go. That's ready to go. We'll get the case out next. Oh yeah, they're a lot easier. Yes, sir. We did a very tasteful tune just for low latency and smooth FPS for good visuals. Nothing crazy at all. Prices. The process took a little over an hour, if that. Thank you again for the recommendation. You're welcome. I don't care what anyone thinks. I do miss the Blu-ray drive. Tony, doing your Blu-rays. Out of curiosity, did Chamber Tech say anything about the build? What's the CPU on this build? This is a AIM-5 Ryzen 5 9600X. Because usually Chamber Tech likes my build. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Noah? Welcome back to the Build Show. Loving this build already. Yeah, this one's a little unique because I gotta get the fans in here first, because there's very little space down here at the bottom. So kind of important for me to get in there and get these cables routed first, including installing the bottom fans before we put the board in. Then we can actually, and also connections plugged in. Can't do that. L board in. Pretend like the board's in there and kind of guide my fan headers, which are all going to be over there. USB 3, these on the side, so the side. HD audio and front panel connector. That'll be the hard point of the build. I need it for free, a bigger version, because poor. What do you mean you need it for free? You going live before Christmas, or is this the last live? We're probably gonna be live tomorrow. I've got a last minute order that came in, and I think we're only gonna get through the 2 tonight. I'm feeling it today already. It's been a long day for me. I've been going since 7 for me. And I know there's people out there with longer days than that, but I got to stay fresh. But we gotta prep these 2 tonight still. On top of building them, I actually have to prep these too and get them battle tested and ready to go for pickup tomorrow. And then, so I'll be doing that pretty late tonight. And then tomorrow, yeah, we'll have 2 builds, probably, definitely 1 for sure. There's 1 that I could let it go until after Christmas because I don't believe it's a Christmas build. Nobody told me it was. I actually might check in with the customer and double check, but if it is the case, then we'll build it tomorrow for sure. I just sold one of my 16 gig sticks of 32 and I bought a 5090. That's a good one. You guys want to know what's going on right now? I can tell you I'm in the future on Twitch. Because you got a minute ahead, you're what, a minute ahead or something like that? So definitely 1 more live tomorrow, and then we're probably done until after Christmas. Next step, before we can put the cooler in, is honestly have to stop a power supply in here. But before I do that, I want to tidy up. There we go. A little cleaner. Cleaner to receive the chaos of a power supply. Are you looking for finance or paying full cash? I want a micro ATX build with a 5090 and 128 gigs of RAM, 8 terabytes of storage. Can you give me a quote? Tony, when you're done drinking your whiskey, you can come back and ask me that same question. Make sure you're make sure you're ready for that decision. I think it was you that said you were drinking whiskey. But yes, if you seriously want a quote, we can put together a quote. And of course, you, Tony, you get a discount. You're thinking about 30,000. Probably not far off. What's Max getting for Christmas? I can't say what Max is getting for Christmas. He's sitting right here. And it comes from Santa, not me. How am I supposed to know? Okay. We're doing pretty good. No major, screaming going on in my head. Why the hell do I do this build? But okay. I'm going to hope it's not very far away. Alright, now we move on to an AIO. This build is awesome. I love it. Nice. I'm just joking around. I knew you were joking around. So with tax and shipping, we can do it for around 10K. Please note, for something like this, there's a 25% non-refundable down payment. Nice. 2,500 non-refundable. I'm in. Nice. I have the same GPU, but the dual fan version. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is the Swift card by XFX. Without cursing. You said you've been taking your RAM out of the computer and bringing it with me when you go to work. Oh, Tony. Thanks for another sub over on the Twitch side for Dev. I don't want to take any chances. Just lock it up in the safe. You don't have to take it to work with you. Or get a gold chain for it, you know. Put it on a gold chain. Wear it. Let all those ladies out there know that, you know, you're loaded. That could be a pickup line. Hey, do you want to check out my memory stick? And then you show them an actual memory stick. There'd be a lot of confusion. A lot of different emotions I feel like would be fun around there. Anyway. Everything else is insured, but the insurance company won't insure my RAM. They must not know, you know, what type of RAM you have. Maybe they think it's DDR3. Looking good, guys. Now all we got to do is get a graphics card in here. Then we button it up a little bit on the back, and then we fire this thing up. The big question is does this big 3-fan card fit in here? Woo. It barely fits. It's gonna fit. This is how you properly fill out a beast. Pretty Heloc, now introducing Ramlock, where you have to get a loan against equity of your RAM, or where you can get a loan. Yes. That is a good one. You can actually take out equity on your RAM. Banks are offering loans for RAM purchases. Of course, per your credit approval. Look at how big that card is in there. Love it. Kind of love it. Tell me you're not the biggest thing in the PC without telling me you're the biggest thing in the PC. Nice. Now we just got to clean this stuff up back here. It's relatively easy. all you can do is stuff. Well, there's not a lot you can do here with it, because there's not a lot of space. So, that's what you can do. It's beautiful. It's not even lit up yet. Yeah, pretty one. Did the GPU fit? Ant-Man, yes. Look, it barely fit, but it fit. It was close. Not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when I saw the box size. All right. It is time. Oh, this is a smaller one. Hold on. Might be able to get a zoom. That was a little bit too much. Right there. Good. All right, who's ready to fire this thing up? For the very first time. Hey, what's up, Coral Reef? Dropping in to wish everyone on the stream a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too. Welcome back to the Build Show, by the way. Y'all ready for this? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. In a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forgot the switch on the back. It's okay. Oh, yeah. Affirmative. 10-4.
This is Bravo 6. We have liftoff.
That's affirmative. 10-4. We have confirmation of a solid lift. Infinity fans. To infinity and beyond. Oh, it's clean. I like it. That card, that massive card just steals the show. I love it. I want to buy it. How much? I think these are like $1,600 in that price range right now because of the DDR5 memory cost and the storage cost going up. It was like a $1,300 build. Now it's like $1,600. Hail the cable management king. Thanks, Tony. I just saw that comment over there on YouTube. There you guys have it. Build number 126 for 2025. It is 10:30 p.m. I still have time to finish loading these computers up and prepping them. But we do have a post. So both of them are built and both of them post. So now we got to do BIOS updates, Windows installs, drivers, and test. And, you know, some configurations here and there. Make sure Secure Boot's enabled and make sure AMD Expo is enabled and XMP is enabled on the other one. And then play with the fan curves. Make sure the RGB software is working. All that fun stuff. Make sure the Wi-Fi works. Make sure the USB ports on the front panel work. Make sure the audio jacks on the front panel work. All those testings. We do all of those testing. Everything you can possibly think of is tested. Every now and then, I miss something. But it's pretty rare. I think the last thing I missed was a Wi-Fi driver on a board that didn't have Wi-Fi, and that's why I missed it, because it was an external card added last minute. I forgot to install the driver for that. That was an oopsie. But I walked him through downloading the driver to a USB drive and installing it. Oops. And then the time before that, it was actually one of the Titans. I forgot to initialize and format the second 4 terabyte drive, because it has 2 4 terabyte drives in the Titan. Oops. Both easy fixes, but still. Oops. Every now and then I have a mistake, but they're pretty slim. There you guys have it. Build number 126 for Holly's Kiddo. Merry Christmas. I did not get the name of the kiddo that is receiving this one on Christmas Day, but I look forward to seeing the video of them opening it. Or at least a picture with thumbs up saying, this is cool. I have 5 terabytes and I only have 1 left. Yeah, I have like 4 terabytes in mine, I think, right now, and it's full. So, but I'm constantly downloading, editing videos and stuff like that, so this looks awesome. Thank you, Frozen. Frozen Fusion. Also, thanks for hanging out. This is the Quantum Prime on the website. If you're ever curious about that, it is a build selectable on the website. And there's some customization where you can customize the color of the case, for example. It allows you to do that, I think. I think it still allows you to do that. Yeah, I think it just lets you select white or black, basically. And I think there might be pink and teal still. Nice. Trying to dance. Congratulations, Holly's Kiddo. It's a beautiful build. Merry Christmas. But that's all I've got for tonight, guys. I'm burnt out for the day. I'm only going to do the 2, and then we'll do probably 2 tomorrow. And then we're done till Christmas, after Christmas. We got more builds lined up for after Christmas, so we can possibly stream Saturday or Monday next week. Would be probably the next stream after tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the last stream probably for the week. We'll say Merry Christmas and all that tomorrow during the stream. W stream, thank you. And then we'll see you guys after Christmas. After that. So tomorrow's stream's the last one before Christmas. We got 2 more to do. And then we have successfully built all the computers that need to go under a tree before Christmas. Thanks, Tony. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for joining. If you're new to us, you are always welcome to join the Discord channel where you can hang out and get news updates from me. The best way to communicate with me is probably on Discord. So you can do !Discord in the chat and you'll get the URL to join the Discord channel. All are welcome. Just make sure you follow the rules. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow evening when we have 2 more builds to do before Christmas, and then we'll see you guys after Christmas. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. See ya.